said I'd be back, and here I am.
Yeah, earlier everybody just got to see us go.
Now, anybody here in the waiting room early,
Nobody's here.
you're going to see me drinking.
Okay.
That's because I'm having a medical issue.
There's Terrifier 3 came out?
It's in the movie theater.
I didn't even know they were making another Terrifier.
You don't know Art the Clown?
I know Art the Clown. We watched both those movies. I didn't know there was a third.
All right, I'm giving you Terrifier 1 and 2, and you and C sit down and watch them.
That
Don't
is-
be a little bitch.
That is
Just
not
watch it.
going to be a good one to dip her toes into horror again. I gotta be honest. Terrifier was a little rough for me, and I watch a lot of horror movies.
So my blood pressure when I stand up is dropping 30 points.
So do you think you should go to a doctor?
I did, and the doctor almost fainted. She was like, "Oh yeah, you know, people suck that." She sent in the other guy to do it, and I stood up, and then it dropped, and then I was leaving, and she chased me down the hall. Okay, so she was interested.
Do you get something good? Pills?
Yeah, stop taking as much medicine.
Oh,
Is what
okay.
I got.
Is that
and
what that
drink
is?
a bunch of water.
Well, start drinking.
Well, here it is.
And
Here's to you.
we still need to see Joker 2. Sorry, I saw on your page Sue was talking about which clown took #1. So I didn't know there was a Terrifier 3, and we need to watch Joker 2.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Sue. Where are you?
Sue's not here. Someone's here. Wait, give me a second.
Oh.
I gotta see who. Somebody already liked it. It is Miss Carpenter. Hi, Miss Carpenter.
AC, I hope you're a Knight Rider fan.
Yeah, well, and I hope you're not a fan of tests. Did you make sure to delete those once you were done?
I don't know what's going on with them. Some of them got removed, and one wouldn't move. And then when I tried to get
test
it
4
wouldn't
is
go.
still here.
Yeah.
Delete. There you go. Test 4 is gone.
All right.
And now I'm joining Television That Matters.
I like that. Television does matter.
Well, I'm gonna have to reset it because it's not working.
So.
I'm working.
Why are you doing the Goonies theme?
I don't know the Goonies theme. I don't think I've ever seen
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Good enough for you is.
Ooh, Miss Carpenter says yes, Knight Rider.
Good
Ooh.
enough for you is.
Sounds like we might have a super fan here.
Wait, I'm locked into a Goonies theme.
I don't like your song.
So, hello, Laser Brain.
Hello, Laser Brain.
You ever heard of the Hoff?
I don't think we ever finished it.
We did.
We did?
Yes, we didn't watch the movies.
Yeah, why didn't we do that?
I don't know. Those are kind of hard to get a hold of, but
You have them.
So this is a German release.
Oh yeah, you were just waiting to show that off.
Well, this is what I have because someone took my other one, and this has the movies in it.
Ooh, but you're not opening it.
I will when I'm ready to watch it.
I don't believe that.
But here's something you don't know. Inside of this thing is Michael Knight's driver's license.
Can I point out that Miss Carpenter says I sound just like Knight Rider? I don't know when, but apparently
I
did
think
at some
he's.
point.
She must be talking about Devin.
Maybe.
You do sound a little bit like Devin.
Oh, you mean like Bunny?
Yeah,
Want to say that? Bunny.
Bunny.
Bunny. Bunny.
So, anyways, we're going to talk about Knight Rider because there's nothing better than a guy in a talking car.
It's great, actually. Do you remember on The Simpsons they did Night Boat?
How great was that?
That was great.
Night Boat.
Instead of a car, it was a boat.
And they always had to find an inlet or a fjord.
Oh, Miss Carpenter says I was doing the sounds. I was doing the... Or the... Woo.
You think anybody wants to see my car?
Yeah, why didn't you get the cars out? He's got a couple cars.
Oh.
I can't remember, did I get you that?
You got me that metal one over there.
Oh, there's a different Knight Rider car I got.
Look at this car.
He got this little kitty one.
There's the Hoff.
Covered in dust.
Kitty. Over here is Bunny.
Bunny.
In the back is Mr. Miles.
Ooh, they're all
And
there.
I think this thing talks.
Does it?
Wee.
Miss Carpenter says sweet.
I love you, Kit.
I don't think people can hear that.
I wish
It was
Kit,
pretty quiet.
I wish Kit would tell me he loves me.
I was Quit would tell me.
Well, it's because you were a marble mouth
I
over
hope
there.
Quit tells me he loves me.
Who's Quit?
That's what you said.
fly. Roll back the tape.
Miss Carpenter's got me.
Do you remember when you watched Knight Rider in the pilot?
It's been a while since I've seen the pilot, but I know the plot basically.
So there's a cop.
Yep.
He's on an undercover case.
Yep.
He gets shot in the face
Which is bad news.
and left for dead.
Mm-hmm.
But Wilton Knight says, you know what? This guy fits my profile.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give him plastic surgery to look like David Hasselhoff. We'll stretch him out another 6 to 7 feet tall. Give him a leather jacket and our car.
Yeah.
And the car will do whatever he says and protects his life.
Kit was just talking to us. You know what I do remember? I remember we watched like an old episode that had Carr for the first time.
Ooh, you're giving away secrets.
And then like later, I think it was because we were about to watch something with Carr where he comes back. And I remember how different the voice sounded of Kit. And it's the same guy.
Mhm.
That's the weirdest thing. It's the same guy throughout the thing, but it was so weird. Because he was just like, yes, Michael, I'm doing this. And then later he gets all sassy. So.
Well, it's called a character arc.
That's what I remember.
Even a robot can grow
he
over
can
5
get
seasons.
Sassy.
Or 4 seasons. I don't remember how long this lasted.
Because he got real sassy.
4 or 5. But yeah, that's a trope.
Miss Carpenter loves Knight Rider, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Good taste.
Very good taste.
A trope is you have a twin brother, and one is evil and one is good.
Mm-hmm.
And Carr, Knight Automated Roving Robot,
I wouldn't have been able to come up with that.
was the first car they made, and he was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because he didn't care about human life. He only had self-preservation.
Have you ever heard of Data and Lore?
Pie, Lore, Rick.
Because that's what we were trying to remember.
Exactly. So Data also had, any TNG fans, Data had a brother that was constructed before him, and he was an asshole.
Yeah, it's the same. It's a trope. It's evil brother, evil twin, basically.
It's always the problem when they make these artificial intelligence.
They always mess up a couple times.
They have to give them self-preservation, and then they go, wait a minute. They should have had respect for all all life.
Human.
I wonder where they would draw the line. Would he hit the brakes and skid out if there was a cockroach in the road, or would he keep driving?
He'd probably keep driving.
So there's a level.
It's probably
there.
human life.
All right, take it easy.
Was this one of those shows? Did they ever have an episode where they brought a monkey on? I know a lot of old sitcoms did that.
Yeah, I don't remember a monkey.
I don't think there was a monkey. Yeah, that's right, evil twin. Yeah, Miss Carpenter remembers Carr.
Well, who else?
Tell me.
Wilton Knight had a son. That's where it gets crazy.
Okay.
He's evil.
Mm-hmm.
And angry.
Mm-hmm.
Because his dad took this cop that got shot in the face.
Yep.
Made him look like him.
Sorry, we have Judd 3300 just joined chat and said hi.
Hi, Judd.
We never
Hope
had
you
Judd
like Knight
before.
Rider.
Yeah.
We're talking about Hasselhoff's evil twin brother.
Yep.
Who's not really his brother, but looks exactly the same, except has a mustache, and I think it was a cane.
Oh, I do remember that. Okay, it took me a hot second. I didn't know what you were talking about
And he
at
had
first.
one badass truck.
Yeah, okay.
I think it was called Goliath, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I don't remember.
It's been a while since I've seen Knight Rider. We might need to watch that
Okay.
some more. I like
What are you
Knight Rider.
doing in 10 minutes?
I'm watching Monk.
Oh, well.
That's another show we might need to talk about at some point.
I want to throw out the challenge to you tonight.
Okay.
We're going to cut the bullshit on this show.
Okay.
We're going to open this thing up, and we're going to watch every episode in a row. We're not going to sleep.
Oh.
We're going to be mainlining Rockstar
Well,
and frozen burritos.
I gotta be entirely honest. I got class tomorrow, and I'm paying a lot of money to be there, so I might not be able to make it.
Nerd.
Nerd. Well, unless you want to give me a couple thou.
How would you like an authentic Knight Rider car that talks?
Miss Carpenter says I remember Michael's evil twin. How do you like them apples?
I can't remember his name though. That's I'm thinking of it.
I could probably pull it up
I know
here.
the truck is Goliath, but I can't remember what his name was.
Knight Rider, Michael's evil brother.
Somebody Knight, I think is his last name.
Yeah. Garth. I do remember his name being Garth.
Garth.
Garth. It was so.
It's
Sorry.
fun. It was kind of
Well,
soap opera.
It's just Garth is wild, and the movies. Judd says, "Yeah, we touched on the movies. I was just talking about we never watched the movie.
I haven't. I'm trying to remember the movie. There was one movie where they got the band back together.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say there was another movie, but I can't remember if I'm remembering it correctly. I do know Kit got destroyed, but his computer module was in storage, and they put it in a new Pontiac Firebird,
Oh, fancy.
and it was kind of spacey looking.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember if he ever did it another movie.
Why don't you check your box here?
It's all in German. I can't read
Oh, well, you better start learning.
it. Yeah.
Pick up some German. Because David Hasselhoff is popular with German people.
That's probably why they were able to get his license.
Yeah,
Put it in there.
apparently there is a copy of his license in here.
Now, if you get this,
Mm-hmm. Which,
everybody listening and
Really
anybody who
insane.
watches this in the future, because these are forever,
mm-hmm.
until the nuclear war,
Yep.
don't take the license and pretend it's yours. If you get pulled over with that,
They're gonna say
we're not responsible.
They're gonna say it's not real.
Around here, they might pull you out of the car and insert it in an orifice,
Well, that's nice.
because they're not up for nonsense.
Yeah, but I'm like,
Huh?
here's my
What is
license, sir.
that? This is
I'm
heavy.
Michael Knight. Yeah, David's big in Germany. That's what Ms. Carpenter said.
You know he's got a music career, right?
I do know he has a music career.
And they absolutely love it,
Yeah, well, that's why they got the really cool Knight Rider set right here. Look at that.
obviously.
Showing off your biggest. When you got this set, you gave me your old Knight Rider Blu-ray set.
I'm a great guy.
Yeah, well, now I can watch Knight Rider whenever I want. It doesn't have the movies, but it has the show.
And before long, you may have this.
There you go. Well,
If this water thing doesn't work out,
okay.
you'll be
This
a
water
Knight
thing doesn't
Rider
work out.
baller.
Okay.
So basically, the show then, once they get that premise set and he has his plastic surgery and there's a little bit of resistance,
Mm-hmm.
he decides he's going to work for the Foundation for Law and Government.
Yeah, but he's a little bit of a loose cannon.
He is. He's a cowboy.
Yeah. He goes by his own rules.
But he does have a master,
Mm-hmm.
a handler, an overseer,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Devon Miles,
And
a snooty Englishman
uh-huh.
who's by the book
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't think anything
See-
Michael's doing is good.
You got a cool leather jacket wearing vigilante, and then you got the British guy.
Not to mention, could we say Hasselhoff had one of the best perms in the 80s?
Fun fact, he was the first judge in that. I think that is correct, lol. That's what Judd says.
Hmm?
Fun fact, he was the first judge in that. I think that is correct.
In what? First judge of what?
I don't know. Why are you asking me? I just read the comments.
Maybe they were talking about America's Got Talent or something.
Maybe.
He was there for 1 or 2 seasons. I don't know what happened there.
Miss Carpenter says nice hair, too.
Yeah, his
He
hair
had some
rocks.
nice hair.
So anyways, and then there's Booney.
Mm-hmm.
And Booney is the mechanic.
Bonnie.
She knows how to fix the car and computers.
Isn't she like buds with Kit? Aren't they kind of buddy-buddy?
I mean, listen, she is essentially Kit's doctor.
Yeah, Judd's saying yeah about what you
America's
said.
Got Talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fun on there too.
Yeah.
I remember one of the times he was on there, they brought the Knight Rider car out.
Ooh.
And he had a little Knight Rider outfit on. He sang one of his new songs. And the car was on stage.
Oh, look at that.
That guy knows how to work it.
Yeah, well, he has a good time. That's all I know. I remember this was years ago, they were going to sell the Knight Rider car, and it was in front of David Hasselhoff's house. And you were
Really?
like, we need to go over there because he has to come out and say hi and shake our hand. That's
That was
what you
actually a
said.
good plan. Did it work?
Well, you didn't do it
Oh.
because you didn't have enough money to buy the car. It
Oh.
was probably going to be a lot of money.
Really?
To buy the Knight Rider car, I think it might be a little bit of change.
Do you know where we can get some money?
I don't have a lot of time.
You know, on that last stream we did, the test, there was somebody there. I think it was President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And I offered to give him a vote for $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
I bet if we got that, we could get the Knight Rider car.
Possibly. Well, I also set you up for a Sizzler bit, and you didn't reciprocate it.
Well, I was too busy trying to get $5 million.
I said I don't have an.
I hope you will forgive me, but
It's just.
if 5 is on the line, I can't do a Sizzler joke.
You could always have time for the Sizzler joke.
All right, well, then I'll lay you on a level 2 piece of knowledge.
Okay.
What is their most famous dish?
Probably a prime rib.
They didn't have prime rib.
What about a steak?
Steak and hibachi chicken.
There you go.
Bam! And I think there was also a Malibu chicken there.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was a lot younger, they used to have all-you-can-eat rib night.
Ooh.
And these weren't those little pussy pork ribs. These were the big beef ribs, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You eat those, and then you start hitting people with them.
Katie was telling me a story the other day about her going to the theater, and she wore a white dress and dumped a bunch of ribs on her. I don't know if I was supposed to share that, but
On brand.
it's just you said ribs, so it reminded me of that. Miss Carpenter says, yeah, the good ribs.
You know what? Those ribs, even though Sizzler was kind of a shit joint,
Mm-hmm.
because they got cows that, let's just say they weren't killing the cows. The cows were falling over.
Yeah.
The ribs were really good.
Okay,
And,
well.
of course, what are they most known for?
Mm-hmm. Sizzling?
That was a question.
Sizzling?
No, the world's greatest salad bar.
Oh, I thought it was okay. We went there once.
We did?
Once. I don't know if it was here or back in Washington, but
I haven't seen a Sizzler in...
all I know is we went to a Sizzler once and I had a salad and it was okay.
Oh, well, they had actually gone way downhill.
Hey, Beat After Beats here.
Hey,
Our
Beat.
moderator.
Oh, we got a moderator. Everybody, give it up. Give it up.
I think I'm using the wrong term. He corrected me earlier and I can't remember what he said. He's not a moderator. He's like a manager or something.
Isn't that what a moderator is?
I don't know. And then Beat After Beat. Sorry, I'm late. Well, it's okay. We got off track talking about Sizzler
Yeah, you
instead of Knight Rider.
you will pay the price. You missed the Sizzler bit.
Yeah. Managing mod. Yeah. So he's managing moderator.
Oh, we weren't given the proper title.
He needs to have the proper title.
In fact, I'm going to do him one better. Sir, manager, moderator.
I'm not going to remember that.
And I'm not going to give that title out to anybody else.
Just
That's
Beat After
it.
Beat. Well, Miss Carpenter, I feel like has been here a while, you know?
Well, I certainly wouldn't call her sir.
Well, yeah, you can say ma'am.
I might say ma'am or mum,
Mum.
miss,
Is it mum?
mum.
Isn't mum, isn't that what you call your mom in Britain?
No, that means ma'am.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like, I guess also they call her mother that too.
He says Sir Beat would be acceptable.
Sir Beat.
Sir
Can do.
Beat.
So anyway, Sizzler was bad in the 80s, and then it steadily went downhill, and then it killed itself. But
Yeah.
what all of these restaurants do, and they're all the same. Anybody you can... This ties into Knight Rider, I swear.
Does
at
it?
At the end, it will tie into Knight Rider.
Okay.
All of these kind of restaurants, they all do the same thing. They come out, they get a bunch of money, they build out the restaurant, it's bitchin', the food is tits, the price is killer, and then slowly but surely, price starts going up, quality starts going down,
That's everywhere.
and then bankrupt. And they all do the same. McDonald's is the only one I can think of that somehow, and now they're having problems.
Well, because they have such a big brand name. It's like, that's not going...
But I'm
McDonald's ain't going nowhere.
Listen, there was nobody bigger than Sears.
Yeah.
They were in the 1800s,
Yeah.
and they're gone.
They blew
Or
it.
there's one left, or whatever. They're
Yeah.
essentially gone.
Beat After Beat is asking, is everybody behaving?
Yeah.
Sir Beat is asking us a question.
Yes, we're getting some good feedback.
All right.
Now, how does this tie into Knight Rider?
How does this tie
There is an episode where Michael drives by a Sizzler, okay? It
Okay.
all comes together.
Uh-huh.
You think I'm just talking nonsense?
Does that actually happen, or?
I don't know.
Okay.
Who's going to check? Don't you understand?
I'm gonna-
Nobody can check that.
I'm gonna start watching every single episode of Knight Rider, waiting for when he drives by a Sizzler, and it will never come, and it'll be the worst day of my life.
That sounds like a tremendous waste of time.
Yeah, well, you just said we were gonna sit here and pound rock stars and
Frozen burritos.
frozen burritos and watch everything on this box set,
Hey,
and yet you don't think I'll notice if there's a Sizzler in the background.
they're hard to spot.
Yeah.
Listen, since we're talking about Knight Rider,
Yes.
then we have to mention T.J. Hooker.
Do you?
You do, because T.J. Hooker, every episode they would drive by the same Safeway, right? And there was the same muffler shop. Every episode they would run by. Oh, we gotta go. Drive by. There's Safeway. Over and over.
Well, they're in
over.
the same area. That's where the cop station is.
Now, can I tell you something I've never told anyone else?
What?
I haven't seen the last season of T.J. Hooker, and my understanding is he leaves Los Angeles and goes to Chicago.
Oh, fancy.
We really need to resurrect that.
Yeah, we never finished it. I don't know what happened. I think we just lost steam. Also, Beat After Beat says I like both of your shirts. You might show off your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Show off your shirt.
There's a movie, I think it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Fast Times at Ridgemount High,
Uh-huh.
and there was a bunch of kids and they did stuff. Here it is.
That was last year?
I think so. I'm not an expert on movies.
What is it? Tell me about the movie. Did I watch it with you?
It's just life at a high school, and there's one guy that's a stoner surfer guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes to class, and the teacher's a real ball buster. Boothby is the...
Oh, yeah. I remember. Okay, I got you. And then they want to see my shirt. They can't even see my whole shirt. You got this shirt for me. It's the best dads get promoted to grandpa.
Wow.
I love that shirt.
And so anyway, Mr. Hand goes, Mr. Spicoli, why do you always waste my time? Why do you waste everybody's time? Why do you come in here late every day? Why don't you turn in any of your homework? I don't know. And he wrote, I don't know, on the board. That's Fast Times at Ridgemount High.
Miss Carpenter says love that movie.
Yeah. Talk about seminal.
Beat After Beat says pizza in class.
He orders a pie,
Mm-hmm.
and the teacher goes, what are you doing on my time? And he goes, I've been thinking about that. Isn't it our time? And then the teacher goes, everybody comes in and takes his pizza.
No,
So he can't win.
that sucks.
And that's just one storyline in Fast Times at Ridgemount High. There are several others.
Oh, sounds like.
A guy scalping tickets, a guy selling movie tickets,
Mm-hmm.
another guy making hamburgers and fish.
So here's my question: what does that have to do with Knight Rider?
Knight Rider wishes it was in Fast Times at Ridgemount High.
Okay. I mean, it all comes full circle.
I told you.
Yeah.
You didn't want to believe it.
So, I mean, what else about the show do we remember? We went over the basic plot. We talked about Carr. We talked about the evil twin.
Mm-hmm.
Is
And basically, it's your run-of-the-mill cop show.
Is there any episodes that stand out to you that you like?
Well, the car episode, absolutely, certainly
yeah.
the first one. And do you know who voices? Anybody out there know who voices Car? Without looking at Google or whatever it is.
Yeah, I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't like that bit?
Anybody ever been to Disneyland? Or the other one?
I think I went to Disneyland once.
Did you ever go in the Haunted Mansion?
I think I went not. They have no windows or walls?
That's right.
Okay.
Guess what? That is the same guy. The moderator, speaking of moderators,
Mm-hmm.
in the haunted house, I think it's called Haunted Mansion,
It is Haunted Mansion.
is the same voice as Car. What do you think about that?
Ooh, it's pretty fancy.
I think it's cool.
There are no windows and no walls.
By the way, I could be totally wrong about that,
Yeah, you could just be making stuff up.
but I think that's right.
Nobody's gonna check.
It's hard to remember all those details, but listen, I was right in the main brain drain of Knight Rider time. Loved this show. Couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fun. And I've been talking to some people lately, and they say they're big fans of Knight Rider. So
Really?
everybody seems to know about it.
Seems like Knight Rider transcends, right?
Same with Monk. in my class, there's like a people like a year or two older than me. And they're like, "Oh yeah, I love that show."
Which
and I'm
again is essentially a police private detective show. Same thing as Knight Rider.
But it is. I mean, this is super fun.
Well, this is
got a
more
car.
like Lone Ranger and Tonto.
Yeah.
Monk is more like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
But basically the same shows.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I do like this show. I like when my favorite episodes are the ones where he gets sassy.
Well, so you guys are used to like phones and all kinds of. I can
am
talk
used
to
to
that thing and tell it to turn on the air. When we saw this car talking, our brains
was-
melted.
Yeah.
We couldn't. We were just like,
A car? That was you.
yeah,
Yeah.
the car is talking, and he had that kind of little voice.
Yeah.
He was a little bitch.
Michael.
Yeah.
He was usually complaining.
Yeah. Well, listen, Mike didn't. He didn't follow all the rules that Devin laid out.
Yeah.
So anyway, the evil twin car one is so good.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
There was one where he joined the circus, which was pretty silly.
Oh yeah. You see, like I can't like recall things, but then you say stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, he did go to the circus.
By the way, on the circus episode, they put stars all over the car, these little stickers.
I remember that.
Then in later episodes, when they were doing montages, every now and then you'd see Kit with the stickers on.
I remember
like,
you pointing that out.
Wait a minute, he went back to the circus?
Use some B-roll footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, listen, it was the 80s, it didn't matter.
Miss Carpenter never missed a show.
I might probably, by the end of it, I probably was one of the people who missed a couple.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah. If you weren't there to watch it and you didn't have a VCR, which I did not.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You could not.
Rough day for you.
Like hopefully you'd get a rerun or something, but it's very tough to imagine every episode. And there was probably 22 a year, and to be up there, whatever it was, 9 o'clock on NBC.
Yeah.
The odds are you were going to miss one or two.
Yeah. Well, Miss Carpenter did.
Well, listen.
Trooper.
I don't know if I remember any show that I caught every single one of. And then when they would do like syndication and stuff like Three's Company, I was way late to Three's Company, but they would have them on the independent channel, and they would run those several times a day so you could catch up.
Can I do something kind of fun?
Yeah, do it.
I'm looking up best Knight Rider episodes. Just general consensus.
Okay, and let's see if I hit any. You mean?
What do you mean hit any?
See if the circus one is on there. Car is on there.
So the episodes that made Knight Rider a classic. So they're gonna start naming some episodes for us. Do you know? Oh, Beat After Beat says Knight Rider movie.
Knight Rider TV movie.
Yeah.
And it was this show got canceled, so there was no final episode. They didn't know it was going to happen, so they got to come back a few years later and sort of, I don't know what they did.
Wow, Car was pretty early.
Car, I think, was in the first season.
The first episode that they mentioned on this list, season 1, episode 9, Trust Doesn't Rust. That's where Car first appears. Every Sherlock needs their Moriarty.
We were just saying that, so we don't need that list.
Well, it's fun. Goliath.
Goliath was one of the ones we talked about.
Season 2, episode 1 and 2, so it was a two-parter.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about Goliath. So that's already the first two we've already talked about.
And what was the guy's name?
Gareth.
Garth? Was it Gareth?
Gareth. Garthes. Sorry. Garthe. And then apostrophe.
Garth.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Garth.
Garths.
Garth and
Garth.
Goliath.
Top G Logan 2.0 is here, and he says potato.
Potato. I don't remember that episode.
Me neither. Let me see. Halloween Night.
Ooh.
For big, flashy, cheesy horror movies, and who doesn't love a Halloween special? Disappearing corpses, sexy witch ladies, floating demon heads. A score and even the house from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho feature heavily.
You know why, right?
Because the backlot. Yep.
That's where they filmed.
Yeah.
If you watch, there are a ton of Knight Rider episodes that are in the Back to the Future sort of clock tower stores. You see that one a lot. Mm-hmm. I think there was even one where he drove by the Jaws.
Yeah, I think I do remember something like that.
Maybe that was 18. I don't remember.
It says the ending. Should I spoil the ending of the episode? They say it's cool.
Ending of what episode?
The Halloween one.
Oh, what if people go and find the Halloween episode and then?
Okay, apparently there's something cool that happens at the end of that
Because
episode.
I don't even remember that.
Oh, well, never mind then.
So that one didn't. That one didn't. That one didn't get through.
Well, it's saying these are the ones that made Knight Rider a classic. So the Halloween episode is one people think about.
Really?
Well-
it escapes me. I think of Goliath and Garth, and I think of Carr.
Well, those were the first ones on the episode.
There's also an episode where Kit gets nearly killed,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually loses his nerve, and they have to try to retrain him, and he can't do it.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So that was a good
That
episode.
was pretty good.
Yeah. Sort of he's not supposed to have any emotions, but all of a sudden he does, and he's afraid. Same thing. Data did the same thing. He's not supposed to have any emotions.
Because
but boy,
artificial
does he.
intelligence builds and builds and builds and builds.
They
and-
played with that a lot.
Yeah. Season 3, episode 14, Junkyard Dog.
That's the one I'm talking about.
No, I'm just naming episodes off this list. I have no clue what you're talking about.
You don't remember the episode? I think
No, I remember.
I think Kit got hit by a missile or something.
Oh, yeah. This one says it's classic 80s. Environmentalist with an evil businessman dumping toxic waste.
Oh, listen.
Classic.
If there was a show in the 80s and they didn't mention nuclear war, they mentioned toxic waste and a guy making money off of it.
Oh, apparently Kit begs Michael for help as he's dumped into the acid.
Yeah, that was a bad one. Is that the same one? Oh, so it wasn't a missile? I couldn't remember.
I don't know if this is the same episode. They could have had two similar episodes.
Because I remember I seen one where they were buried. And any eagle-eyed viewer will notice, if you look really closely, a lot of times they use models. So you'd see Kit like do a stunt, it would be a little toy car.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. There was like the little
Yeah, that's the problem with Blu-ray. It's pretty clear.
Yeah, this is the episode where he's traumatized. He gets dumped into
So it was
a vat of
acid, not a
acid.
missile. All right, so I
Yeah.
was misremembering, but
Okay. So apparently that's one of the episodes people remember. How do you like you're hitting all the
well, I
except
think
for the
that's the fun.
Halloween episode?
I don't understand that one.
People said it's a classic.
I do remember them driving by the Psycho House, but I don't remember why or what they were doing.
Beat After Beat says the whole 80s was about nuclear war.
It was.
Yeah. Well, he gets dumped into a thing of acid, he's begging for help, and then he gets jacked up.
You want to know why my generation is so the way we are? One of the reasons is they drilled through our heads that the bomb was going to drop on us at any minute.
And you had to climb under your desk, and that would save you.
There was. Listen, I've been under a desk, and
I know.
how ridiculous that is.
I
It
know.
reminds me a lot of, and not to get on a political soapbox, it reminds me a lot of the mask wearing during the, you know what, a few years ago,
Yeah.
and then now we find out the mask did nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was born in 67, Beat After Beat says.
So you know and remember the threat. 67. So you're a fellow Gen X. 67 is. You said
Is it?
67, right?
Yeah.
That's X.
By the way, those were the only episodes included on the list. So you hit all the ones. The one where he's traumatized,
Mm-hmm.
the car episode, the Garth.
Okay, wait, but there's more.
There is more.
How about the one where Michael Knight infiltrates a rock band and has to make a single? Now, come on. They're making a video. That was hot.
Yeah. I bet you remember that one.
Pretty.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think of what the cheesiest episode was, and that's got to be there.
Do you think I should look up cheesiest episode?
Yeah,
Maybe?
try that.
Let's
I bet
see what's
that's
up.
on there.
Let's see.
It was a duet with this chick. You know what? When did Knight Rider jump the shark? You know that phrase, right?
I do know that phrase.
I don't know that I've ever heard of when Knight Rider jumped the shark. Does anybody have any guesses? I have a guess.
Ooh, this one says the worst episodes of Knight Rider voted by fans from the show.
Okay, well don't mention those because that might be a jump the shark moment. Is
Yeah.
anybody out there who cares to pontificate?
Can I say something?
Yep.
Number 1 on this list. Posing as a singer in a rock band.
I know my cheese.
And look, there's a picture of them duetting
they are.
together.
You haven't seen. Listen, anybody who's not even sort of interested in Knight Rider, please go look that up. Look up that episode. Elevate your life.
How do you like
If
that?
you don't get joy out of that, it is so ridiculous. Oh, and there's another one that is so stupid. Michael Knight has to go to
I'm looking on the list.
I think it's a National Guard post or an Army base.
Okay.
And he's going undercover, and he goes undercover as a guy who's got a cart on the base selling candy bars and shit. And he's 7 feet tall. He's wearing this white outfit with these candy stripes on it.
Uh-oh.
I mean, if you think you're fitting in with that outfit on a military base, it is so stupid.
Oh, I'm not seeing it on here.
Well, I don't remember the full plot of that episode, but I just remember even as a young child going, you got to be shitting me.
Yeah.
I can spot that guy in the next Army base over.
Ms. Carpenter says 84. I think she was saying when they jumped the shark.
Yeah, no, we're talking about a specific episode where it was like, oh, come on. And then it's like the show was downhill from there. Jump the shark, for people who don't know, is a phrase. John Hine, you know John Hine, right?
I do know
Hit him
John
with the
Hine.
Hine.
I do know that. Sorry, I keep looking down. I'm looking at this
He
list.
actually came up with that saying, and it was in reference to Fonzie water skiing over a shark in a leather jacket.
Okay.
Which meant this show is gone now. And so then that sort of turns into a metric for when a show eats it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never heard anybody talk about Knight Rider jumping the shark, but I have an idea. And I'm wondering if anybody else does. Maybe people don't remember the episode. This is an old show.
How do you like... That's the first one on here, the one about the duet. When you were saying
I know my garbage, dude.
I was reading it and I was like...
Those are the ones that make the memories.
Man. Yeah, these are considered the worst episodes.
By the way, I think that's the best episode.
Because it's the worst episode.
At least top 5.
You think it's the best episode because it's the worst
ridiculous.
episode? Yeah.
It's absolutely... he went up to the producers and said, I want to sing on the show or I'm leaving. Oh, okay.
So, can I tell you number 2 on here?
Yeah.
Night in Retreat. Michael poses as a space weapons scientist to gain access to a club operated by a woman dealing in blackmail and top secret weapon systems.
Okay. Anybody buying a 7-foot tall guy with a perm as a what kind of scientist?
He is a space weapons scientist.
Space weapons. So what is space weapons, right? Star Wars?
Yeah.
Anybody remember
also, look
Star
at that
Wars?
picture of him shirtless.
Oh my God. Look, he's got glasses, all right? So that's all you need.
He's so smart.
That was the 80s right there. You put on a pair of glasses, you're a scientist.
Ooh, number 3, Night Sting. Bonnie poses as a jet setter to gain access to the foreign embassy planning to ship a canister of deadly bacteria out of the country. So it sounds like a Bonnie episode. Maybe that's why people didn't like it.
Even that description sounds flat, though.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's really funny. But the scientist one that one's number 2.
If anybody remembers Hasselhoff in that candy-striped outfit selling candy bars on the base, though.
By the way, Beat After Beat says, looks like me, when I showed the picture of him.
Hey, me too.
Yeah. Holy cow, make it go away. Oh, wait, let me see if I can find Knight Rider selling candy.
On military base. I think it was National Guard or whatever.
Michael's undercover mission, selling snacks. There's a clip online. Let's see what episode it was. Trying to find it for you. He's wearing a dumb hat. I'm not seeing the stripes yet.
Okay, show the people the picture. That's good enough.
Well, no, it's not.
That is. He's undercover. And it's not like he's in a he's in a cubby hole or anything. Even look at the MPs. You ever seen an MP look like this?
There he is in his special
But
little
the
hat.
outfit he had on with the candy stripes, it was just... There's no way that guy's undercover.
I'm trying to find...
Undercover means you fit in and
yeah, there's the
blend
military base, so this is the episode. It's just I gotta find the candy stripes. Give me 1 second to do my thing.
Did we get any information on anybody think of when it jumped the shark?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
So I guess I'll give there's possibly 2 moments. One, Bonnie gets tossed and April O'Neil shows up.
Mhm.
But they correct that later.
Mhm.
So I don't know that that was a true jump the shark. Oh, see, but he doesn't have the candy stripes
He
on. But
doesn't
that's
have
goofy enough.
he
Show
doesn't
him.
have the candy stripes,
I
but
don't know if you can see that on there.
yeah. Well, he is wearing a full outfit. He's wearing like these weird pants. He's wearing like a little apron and a hat. But this is on a military base.
But
So
this is when he's sort of infiltrated. So he's
Yeah.
kind of sneaking around. When he's outside on the corner with the cart, it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
he's on the inside. He knows
There's
what's
not
up.
one military personnel or civilian personnel that walked by him and thought, yeah, that looks right.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Nothing weird here. Let's keep moving.
But how do you like those were voted on by fans of the show.
Mhm.
So the list is ranked based on what people said.
So, my opinion when the show jumped the shark, they added Cousin Oliver. I think it was AC.
Who's Cousin Oliver?
Cousin Oliver is a reference to the Brady Bunch. That's
Okay.
that's when a show really jumps the shark, when you add a
Right.
kid near the end,
Yeah.
a cute kid.
I actually don't remember that. So I mean,
That's sort of a thing. Yeah, they added a guy. I
Mhm.
think it was AC, and apparently the reason they got him is he helped mod Kit one time, like make it a little sprucier.
yeah.
And it's like, well, then they tried to add him to the show, and we're like, well, wait a minute, that's what Bonnie does.
Yeah.
So Bonnie and AC sort of just stare at each other,
You're just like,
and then sometimes
around the
AC
car.
helps, and I don't think they knew what they were doing with that.
yeah.
I have a speculation.
Mm-hmm.
May I speculate for a moment?
Speculate.
They might have thought the show was a little European,
Oh, is that what you're saying?
and they needed a little flavor.
Why not?
Maybe that was it, because they certainly didn't know what to do with him. Had no clue.
You did ended up just becoming like the apprentice of Bonnie in a way.
Not even. They didn't even appear to like each
Uh,
other.
Yeah, I promise I don't remember enough about him. I know who you're talking about.
He was all in season 4.
Yeah, it's just it's not really. I can't remember any scenes with him. He was forgettable. So I mean, that might aid in your theory.
Yeah, well, he was supposed to be street and like a guy who would steal a car and modify it and
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff, soup it up so it'd go faster for like a Fast and the Furious drag race. But I mean, again,
So this episode is really interesting to me, or not episode. This website is interesting to me. So they have also a tab for the best episodes. So I thought,
Okay.
because these are fan voted ones, as opposed to some guy's article, Circus Nights.
oh, do I hit them all or
Yeah, yeah. Short notice kills a cycle game, and the only witness insists that he recovers a kidnapped child before they help him. That's not ringing a bell.
what? Another mandatory episode in the 80s. There was going to be an episode with a motorcycle gang
Yeah.
terrorizing a town.
Yep. Goliath is on here. Shocker.
Got to have somebody equally as powerful or more powerful to beat the heroes.
Diamonds aren't a girl's best friend. Apparently, that's considered one of the best.
Really?
Yeah, it's
I have no memory of that.
Michael heads for Mexico to trap a talent agent who's using beautiful models to smuggle diamonds in the U.S.
Sounds like a good idea.
It does. It was probably a good episode. That's why it's on here.
Now listen, this is the 40th anniversary. And that must have been a couple years ago, right?
Oh, I remember this episode, Nightmares. Michael suffers amnesia from a head injury sustained while investigating at a dam and reverts to his former identity as policeman Michael Long. I remember that episode. That's considered one of the best ones on here.
Sounds pretty good, but amnesia, another one, mandatory.
Yeah. Well, Kit was kind of losing his thunder in that one episode. This one is sort of like the human equivalent, is the amnesia. And
Well, that's interesting. Have you ever seen the movie The Long Kiss Goodnight?
no.
You should watch that.
Okay, I haven't.
It's an underrated movie. It has Gina Davis and Sam Jackson in that.
Okay.
Mining some territory there. Same territory. But so that's my jump the shark.
All right.
I can't think of any other episodes that stand out to me. Those are the ones that hit me really hard.
Yeah, well. Junkyard Dog, Toxic Waste Dump. That's number 15 on this list. So
Mhm.
not up high, but I mean, we saw it was on there. You were talking about it. So, I mean, that seems to be the... All the other ones are kind of like, they just sound like episodes in a TV show. The circus one being number 1, though.
So this is all I have to say about Knight Rider, unless anybody else has anything to say.
I do not.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about people there too. If they want to get in their last comments about Knight Rider, if you like to smile, if you are awed by the wonder of the '80s and its cheesiness,
watch the episode where Michael is singing a duet.
Well, even the whole premise of a talking car.
Yeah,
and,
it's just fun.
There are so many situations where you don't need a talking car that can jump.
Night Boat.
But somehow they fit it into every episode.
Yeah.
But it's still a very cool show. Sci-fi.
I guess you could call
Those
it
are really
sci-fi.
the best. What would be the precursor to Knight Rider?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you got two guys. It's Lone Ranger and Tonto. What would be another show that's sort of mining that same material? Can you think of one?
Night Boat?
Night Boat, definitely. Definitely a ripoff.
Yep.
I can't think of one offhand, but there must be, right? Because all these shows recycle themselves.
I don't know. That's the one that stands out to me because I watched it. So
Oh,
what am I
that's
going to say?
All right. Thank you all for listening to our nonsense.
Yep.
We covered it all. Everything
Whoa.
about Knight Rider.
The best, the worst, the cheesiest.
We even hit on Sizzler.
Yep.
Now you know more than you ever wanted to know about Sizzler.
We talked about Sizzler. We talked about something else for a bit too.
TJ Hooker.
TJ Hooker. Yeah.
Which maybe we'll do an episode on that because that is more fantastic. Anything with Shatner in it.
Is fantastic.
Doing that acting that he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
You're missing out if you're not seeing this guy and the sort of swagger and hubris of
Everybody
that man.
said goodnight to you already. It's time to
Good
wrap
night,
it up.
everybody. Sweet
Goodbye.